here. You notice that Moon only made about 4 archers, and so Grubby's going to have a unit advantage right at this point. And now all of a sudden we see that Grubby's sending in peasants and a demolisher, so we're looking at a tower rush. Here's something that a lot of Night Elf players don't understand about tower rushes. A lot of people think that there is, you know, some secret way to beat a tower rush, like you have to focus the other player's units in a specific order, like you have to kill the peasants first, and then the grunts, or you have to kill the demolishers first and then focus the heroes. Like there's some specific way you have to play them, and that is the wrong way to look at a tower rush. You'll notice what Moon's been doing here is he has been focusing anything that is convenient. He's been focusing grunts. He just killed that demolisher when he was able to get his heroes back there. He's focusing whatever is most advantageous to him at that particular point. And what he's doing is he is not wasting any movement. The way that you lose tower rushes is by taking a lot of damage running your heroes around chasing something of theirs. You never want to chase. You want to kill what's right next to you, and use everything you have at your disposal. It's very important to have a shop up at this point. A lot of Night Elf players neglect to make the shop, because you don't really need it at tier 1 as a Night Elf player, but it's very important to have a shop up. You'll notice that healing potions are playing a big role here, but you'll notice that Moon has just been focusing, you know, one unit after another. It didn't really matter what it was. You know, he focused grunts, and then he killed demolishers, and then he eventually killed that Taran chieftain, and now eventually he's able to force the TP. In the end, you're probably going to beat the tower rush by forcing a TP. If you have a Demon Hunter with Boots of Speed, and they have a slightly bigger army, you know, the way to get them out of your base if they're trying to tower rush you is to force a town portal by focusing your hero. But you generally don't want to do that right at the beginning of the fight unless it's very convenient, and very obviously going to work. If you try to do it right at the beginning of the fight, chances are they'll be expecting it. They'll have healing potions. They'll be able to surround your hero or be able to kill the rest of your army. And then if they're able to keep their hero alive, you're done. It's over. So you just want to kill whatever you can until an opportunity comes up to focus the hero. A good opportunity. And then you focus it, and then you force the TP. But the key is not wasting any motion or any time and taking as little damage as possible. Which means not running around trying to, you know, kill the one demolisher or whatever it is while their whole army hits you. It's just you kill whatever you can, and you just the key is to try to keep in mind no wasted motion, no wasted hit points. You want every single one of the hit points that they take away from you to be at great cost to them. So using all of those ideas, Moon was able to fight off that tower rush, and now he has found himself at tier 3 for bears. That's another thing. Don't stop your tech if you're getting tower rushed. Use your shops, use your wells, use your Ancient of War, but don't stop your tech. Because you still, assuming you were planning on teching to tier 3 in the first place, don't not do it because of the tower rush. Not teching really isn't going to help you all that much, and you still want your tier 3 if you come out on top. Because now that Moon has fought himself free of that tower rush, he has the tier 3, whereas if he was just starting his tech right now, he'd still be at a pretty big disadvantage right here, and Grubby in all likelihood could just come back and win as soon as he got his CC back out. So another thing I wanted to talk about is Moon's unit choice in general in this particular match. He went 2 Ancients of Valor, and he went bears. So that's one way to play it, right? I mean, there are a lot of ways. I mean, Mass Talon still is popular and works great. Tri-unit being Huntress or Archer plus Talon plus Dryads at tier 2, massing that with scrolls and stuff is another really popular way to play it. There are lots of hero combinations that are popular. You see Keeper second, you see Firelord second, but you know this particular combination is pretty nice in the way that it complements itself. So let's think about why this combination is effective. First of all, we're playing against a Far Seer, right? Dryads are very good against the Far Seer, because what does the Far Seer do? He casts Wolves, and he casts Chain Lightning. Chain Lightning doesn't hit Dryads, and Wolves get dispelled by Dryads. Okay, Dryads are pretty good against Far Seer, whereas Druids of the Talon are significantly less good. They take a lot of damage from both those things. Taran Chieftain second, same principle. Taran Chieftain as an AoE spell. Dryads, very good against that. And so are Bears. Bears are big units. They don't suffer nearly as much from AoE as a lot of small units do, i.e. Talons. So this is, you know, a nice unit mix against Grubby's hero combination. And why Beastmaster second? Beastmaster second in general is a good hero against Orc because he adds a lot of strength to you in that tier 2 push, which is a very important thing to keep in mind. That tier 2 push often has towers, and having 3 Quill Beasts in your army is really nice to have. It's the same, you know, Fire Lord works well for similar reasons. But Keeper of the Grove is harder in that particular case because Entangle is less useful than 3 Quill Beasts in a Tower Rush. Especially because Beastmaster is a big fat hero that doesn't die very easily. Keeper of the Grove is a very good hero, and is pretty useful in a Tower Rush, but you know, the units that the Beastmaster makes are nice because they complement the they sort of help to counterbalance your weakness at tier 2.
Our sacred grove is being desecrated.
Another thing you'll notice, as Moon does it right there, is that it's, at one point in this match, Moon purchased a Staff Teleportation. One thing I wanted to say about that is, you don't need to necessarily copy that. If you see good players buying a Staff Teleportation, that doesn't mean that you should be buying one necessarily. Staff Teleportation is a good item. There are a lot of circumstances in which it becomes very useful. I mean, Moon was just able to use it right there in that particular case to get Grubby out of his base faster, so he didn't lose as many buildings as he might have otherwise. However, I can't tell you how many times I've seen Night Elf players be like, oh man, like I saw some pro buy Staff Teleportation, so I bought one too, and they never once use it. Like, if you're going to buy one, only do it if you expect to be using it, and that you know how it's used. So don't just go buying it. You need to be able to incorporate that into your playstyle if you're going to do it. Again, there are a lot of ways that it's useful, but just, you know, watch replays, pay attention to when and why it's used before you do it. I mean, right there's another good example. Grubby's Staff Tome hero, his Beastmaster, and then gave him the staff teleportation first, and then the Beastmaster staffed back to the army without having to run all the way across the map. Nice little thing you can do with staff, but again, only buy staffs if you plan on using them. So you'll notice what Grubby did there, which is what I mentioned earlier, is he took advantage of the of one advantage Orc has over Night Elf, which is that Orc is good at killing buildings, and Night Elf buildings die quickly. So he was able to run and kill both of Moon's lores and get out pretty quickly. And similarly, he was able to cancel that expansion without Moon being able to do very much about it.
Our warriors have engaged the enemy.
As a Night Elf player, just bear in mind that Orcs are going to do that to you. I'll talk more about that in a second because we have another big fight. And so now, Grubby has gotten what you should always expect to see if you go bears, which is a lot of Kodos. That is the way that Orcs generally counter bears. So you can see that, you know, Moon's Kodo Beasts are getting eaten very, very quickly here. And so it looks like Moon is not doing particularly well at this point. But you'll notice what, because like all of a sudden he only has like 4 units in his army, right? Well, Grubby didn't really lose hardly anything. In that particular fight, one thing you should always remember about Kodos is while they make your army look very small very quickly, they also don't do much. They don't really do any damage, and they have very, very slow movement speed. So even if you feel like you're losing a fight, if you can often win the fight just by killing, you know, like 1 Kodo Beast at a time. And you'll notice what Moon did. The way that Kodo Beasts get good is they get good when they are able to, you know, devour and then stay alive until the devour actually completes. Devour takes a long time to complete. So, you know, if you get a bunch of your units devoured, and then you find some way to force a fight with the Orc player, look what happens. You come right back out on top. Because even though Grubby was able to devour all of Moon's bears, Moon was able to force a fight immediately by running straight to Grubby's expansion.